Pokemon GoFest is coming to Sendai, Japan, Madrid, Spain, and New York City. Now, me personally, I'm going to be attending the one in New York City, and I went last year, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. I'll help you make a checklist of items you need to pack, and some other helpful tips and tricks if you plan on making the trip. So the first thing I want to go over is actually what I'd recommend packing in your backpack, your satchel, whatever it is that you use to carry items. Make sure you have these things with you to make sure that you get the most out of the GoFest experience, starting with the most important thing, drinks. It's going to be paramount. You bring, it doesn't have to be Prime per se, but anything like Gatorade, Prime, Powerade, water, anything that is going to help keep you hydrated, because anything that has caffeine, anything that's carbonated like a soda, that's going to actually dehydrate you, and it's actually going to give you like headaches. It's going to just really make you drag. It's going to really inhibit your fun and experience at the in-person event. So make sure you bring fluids that actually are going to be meant to hydrate you. So the second thing I want to mention in the same vein as the drinks will actually be snacks. Easy to carry, easy to eat, quick grab and go things. They can pull up your backpack quickly if you get hungry. So I will mention this later in the video. There will be vendors that will be selling you food. They have food trucks and whatnot. But if you're on the other side of the park and you start getting like a hunger headache or you feel like your energy's going, just make sure you have some quick and easy snacks. These are just a couple things to grab from home. They don't have to necessarily be this, but I do recommend granola bars in general, just to make sure you keep your energy up, because you're going to be out there playing in the sun for several hours. So I'll make sure no one's passing out from lack of food or hydration. So next thing I'd recommend is sunscreen. Now, while we're not going to Southern California or Florida or somewhere tropical, it's still going to be pretty hot. It's going to be roughly 90 degrees Fahrenheit in July in New York City. So I recommend sunscreen. Rather have it, not need it, than need it, not have it, because if you go and you get sunburned, it's just going to ruin the whole experience for you and everyone around you. So make sure you pack some sunscreen. Make sure you have that handy. I just have the one that has a little clip on, so I can put it on the backpack so it's not taking physical space, and also have quick access to it. But that's just something that I did. So just grab whatever sunscreen you like or you want that's good for you, and that's what I recommend. Also, wet ones, because we talked about food just a few seconds ago. Make sure you pack something to wipe your hands off, so that way you're not getting crumbs and food debris on your phone. Also, they have porta potties there, and those aren't always the cleanest. So make sure you have a way to keep yourself clean and sanitized. This one's a little bit more techy, I guess. So you're going to want to bring extra charging cables and portable chargers. I have two big industrial sized ones that hold a charge, and they actually are quick chargers. I recommend those because, again, you're going to be out there for a good amount of time. Pokemon Go takes up a lot of battery life on your phone. So make sure you're constantly charged up, ready to go. That way you're not stopping and going, oh my God, I'm out of juice on your phone. They do have charging stations there, but it's easier so that way you can keep walking around, get those spawns, and not have to stop what you're doing. So make sure you get a good industrial charger. You can get a decent one at Best Buy for like 50 bucks. Okay, and the last thing I recommend, as you can see, is an auto catcher. This one specifically is the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. It's a lifesaver, really. Even if you have it just set to spin stops in the background, that way you're not running low on items, because you're going to be catching a lot of things, probably more than you would even if you're a hardcore grinder. So make sure you get yourself an auto catcher. I would strongly advise getting one, because especially if you're raiding, you're going to be missing out on all those spawns that come up. So having an auto catcher in the background catching things, even if a few things run away, you're still going to have a net positive experience by catching things you're going to miss regardless. So definitely recommend getting an auto catcher, if nothing else, to at least keep your items replenished while you're grinding and catching a bunch of Pokemon. So if there's anything that you think I missed in my backpack checklist, be sure to leave a comment below, because you may have thought something I haven't yet. So that way you can help the community out and maybe pass along some knowledge or wisdom that you have from past experiences. So that being said, let's get into the rest of the tips so you can get the most out of your GoFest experience. So regardless of this, your first time, second time, 100th time in New York City, you want to make a checklist of every major attraction, landmark, restaurant, tourist destination, anything that you want to check out. And you want to make yourself like an itinerary, so that way you can make sure that you see everything you want to see and experience. One of the most underrated tricks that I didn't even really think about too much last year is you want to upgrade your item space and your Pokemon storage space as much as you feel comfortable doing. So right now I'm rocking with about 4,000 Pokemon storage space and 4,000 bag space for my items, which is still a lot, but I can always do a little better. So considering that you're going to New York City or going anywhere for an in-person GoFest, you're obviously not really a free-to-play player, so this shouldn't be too bad for you. Unfortunately, it is 50 inventory spaces for 200 Pokecoins, which isn't a great deal, but every little bit that you can do really does go a long way. So I'm going to upgrade it just a little bit more. I'm going to try to get to like 4,200 of each. I think that's what I did. Let's double check. Yep, up to 4,200. I'll probably do more eventually, but that's just something that I would strongly recommend. It is a super slept on tip because you're going to be catching stuff like crazy. You're going to be spinning stops like crazy, especially if you have the auto catcher going with you. You just want to make sure you're not constantly looking down your phone and going, oh no, I'm out of Pokemon storage space. You have to go through and to stop what you're doing. It just makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to have as much space as humanly possible, so that way, again, you're not stopping your grind, constantly looking to get rid of Pokemon that you really don't want to get rid of, or get rid of items that you actually might need. Because you're going to be able to do a lot more special trades during your GoFest days that I would recommend doing what I did here, and that is to make a trade folder with a bunch of extra shinies, legendaries, regional Pokemon, anything that you're willing to part with, just for the sake of trade bait, especially anything that is specific to your region that you might not think is a big deal. Like here, we get tourists all the time around where I live, but if somebody's coming from another country or coming from another area where it's not going to spawn, having those for trades for those people is a huge thing. They'd be much appreciative because they might have something from their region or from an event that you missed out on, like a costume or another shiny, that they have extras of that you want to part with. Having any kind of trade fodder that is sought after at all, you have extras of, don't delete it. Make sure you hold on to those. And definitely make some friends because they're probably something that you're looking for. You might have something that they're looking for. Something I forgot to mention, or rather I forgot to film when I was at the park a few days ago, was I would strongly consider getting the add-ons for the in-person experience. Starting with the Raid Lover for $15. All the details are going to be on that side of the screen over there. And I really do think it's a terrific value because you're getting up to 54 free raid passes in total for the 3 days. So that's the first one. And the second one is the Egg Enthusiast, which is one that I actually enjoyed a great deal, more than I originally expected. Last year when I went, give you a quarter hatch distance, extra Stardust, extra XP, more candies, all this under $15. And considering that you're going to be walking a lot, not just at the park, but also around New York City, as one I'd strongly recommend getting. I really do think it's valuable, and I'm actually going to be doing a video in New York City comparing the two, showing really the benefit or the cost-benefit analysis, I guess, is the way to say it, of both of those add-ons. And then the last one, which is actually, I think, overall the best value, will be the citywide gameplay experience for $20. And what that does is it basically gives you the in-park experience throughout the city limits of New York City. So it's going to have the same shiny odds as you would have at your ticketed day. Again, I just think it's just incredible. So if you're a shiny hunter, if you're kind of like a shiny hoarder like myself, definitely worth doing. Unfortunately, the one thing to keep in mind though is unlike the actual in-park experience, you're not going to have set habitats or set spawns per se. So everything that is in the spawn pool is going to just be dumped everywhere. It's going to be a little bit of everything all the time, and that's how they're going to have it for the citywide experience. So definitely recommend doing that one. So in totality, it's what, like 70 bucks. I mean, I know it's kind of expensive, but I think it is worth it to do it. So that way you get the absolute most out of your trip and your weekend there in New York City. So yeah, okay, now to the rest of the video. So if you've ever been to like a concert, a festival, a sporting event, anywhere that sells event-specific merchandise, you know for a fact that that merch line is really long, right? Well, think about the number of people in those lines, then multiply that by another number, so that way the new number you're thinking about is just a bit bigger, because that's how multiplication works. That's about how many people are going to be in line at the merch tent for Pokemon GoFest. So we have a few ways around that. So if you have an event start time of just say 9 o'clock in the morning, consider showing up at 7, 8 o'clock. That way you have enough time to stand in line, shop and look around comfortably with the peace of mind knowing that you're not cutting into the event time that you paid for, or be willing to stay an hour or two after the event for the same reason. Other suggestions too is they're going to be there all 3 days. So just say you plan on playing on Saturday, show up on Friday, maybe scout the park too while you're there, and that way you can shop and there's no time constraints or limitations on you. So yeah, those are kind of a common sense. Or actually, you know what? I have one more suggestion for you. Maybe bring a person who doesn't play Pokemon Go, have them stand in line for you. That way they can buy whatever it is that you want, and you get to keep playing the game and having fun while they're doing the work for you. Maybe throw them some like New York City pizza or something just to make it, you know, somewhat even. Okay, and thinking about food, because I can't help myself, I think about food like a lot. I did mention earlier and things to pack. I mentioned like granola bars, chips, anything that's easy to pack in a bag, anything that's quick and easy to grab on the go and eat that's not going to go bad. Sometimes it's not enough, right? But don't worry, the event coordinators actually do have you covered. So last year when I went, they had about 10-ish food trucks available, all reasonably priced, all good selections. So if you're hungry, don't fret. You don't have to leave the park, you don't have to go to a restaurant. They got you covered. They got food trucks there. So make sure you have a little extra cash so we can tip the guys, because they're there to take care of you. So at the in-person event, if you need a breather or you just want to relax, maybe get a giveaway, it doesn't hurt to swing by your team tent. They have a tent for Team Instinct, Valor, and Mystic, most importantly. So definitely swing by, talk to some of the reps there, hang out. And also too, if you think about it, definitely bring some kind of way to represent what team you're on. Like for me personally, I got this really cool pop socket that says it has Team Mystic on it. So definitely represent your team any way possible. Have a hat, t-shirt, whatever. Just represent your team, and usually someone from Niantic or a staffer will give you some kind of keepsake or giveaway. So definitely check that out. It's a great way to also meet up with the community as well. So I'm sure you guys have played the Global GoFest or the Global Tour events, and you guys remember that the habitats rotate every hour. However, at the in-person GoFest, they actually are geographically located or geocoded into the map. So each part of the park is going to have a different habitat. So it's going to make it really easy to shiny hunt specifically what you're looking for. And also each habitat, there's going to be a bunch of Pokestops, like 100, if not more, per habitat. They're going to have field research specific to that habitat. So be sure to actually check out as many habitats as you possibly can, well, preferably all 4. So that way you can get exactly what you're looking for, and also get more research challenges completed. That also give you more encounters with the featured Pokemon from those specific habitats. Now on screen you'll see that this was actually the map from Randall's Park last year. I'm assuming they're probably going to have it set up pretty similarly this time around. So never mind the fact that it's kind of technically outdated from 2023, but if it's anything like last year, this is kind of what you can expect to see in terms of like where all the habitats are going to be located within the park. And the biggest tip that I have for you, it's not really a tip, it's more of like an invitation really, is if you guys see me in New York City, please do not hesitate to come up, say hi, what's up, ask for a picture, ask for a trade, whatever. I'm going to try to make myself as available as I possibly can to say hi to as many of you guys as I possibly can. So don't ever feel like you're bothering me. Just keep in mind I am going to be filming like a lot, so hopefully you guys don't mind being on camera. The one thing I do ask, if you do come up and say hi and snap a pic, whatever, one thing I ask is please send it to my Twitter, which is right there, or X. Twitter just sounds so much better. And or send it to my Instagram, which is down here, because I do want to post as many photos and memories as I possibly can. And I'm really looking forward to going to New York City again for this event. And I think the biggest and best part of the event is you guys. So I want to share as many memories as I possibly can. So again, don't hesitate to come up and say what's up. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys maybe thought something you hadn't thought of before. Hopefully this video helps you out, or maybe you just had fun watching me just talk about Pokemon again, because it's been a while. So if you guys enjoyed this video, you might like the behind the scenes video that I have posted somewhere over here. And if that's not really your fancy and you want to watch my old challenge videos, I really enjoyed making this one over here. So give that one a watch. It was one of my favorites to film, and it probably will be for a long time. So thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.